Hey, Jim Welninski here. Today I'm going to show you how to create some classic black and white darkroom looks in your own photos. It's really simple to do, and we're going to look at three different ones. I have this photograph here that I shot in Chicago that I've already converted to black and white. So let me just turn these layers off really quick. So that was the original file, and I converted it to black and white. And then I put a color enhancer underneath it to further manipulate the colors a little bit. And then this part of the photograph was getting a little too dark for me, so I put another tone enhancer in there to brighten that up and just mask that in. So the three tones that we're going to look at are the platinum, which is a really nice, rich, dark look. And I've also put a final tone enhancer up at the top here that just darkens the blacks and increases the contrast, because all three of these looks are really characterized by their richness and their deep blacks many times. And this photo really calls for deep blacks. So the next one is silver, which is kind of a bluish, especially in the shadows. And sometimes I'll even put a little bit of green in here. But this photo, I think we're just going to stick with the blue. And then the classic cyanotype, which is something that I really am growing kind of attached to. I really like this look. So let's bounce back out to the browser, and I've made another version of this file. And let's just bring that into effects. You can do all this in the effects module, and it's really fast. So let's collapse all of these. And I'm going to click right on this tone enhancer. This is my final tone enhancer up here. So right above my black and white conversion, basically, I'm going to add a tone enhancer. And I'll click on my gear icon here and set my blend mode to color, because I don't want a tone shift. I just want a color shift in my photos. And I'm going to do this all with the curve. So we'll do the platinum one first. I'm going to go to the red curve, and if I go up, I get red. If I go down, I get cyan. And what I really want is I want some red in just the shadows. So I'm going to lock this down at the midpoint so that this part of my curve doesn't get affected. So I'm going to lift this up until I get some red in my shadows, just like that. And I may have to come back and tweak this red. I'm going to go into the blue, and just right in the middle of the curve, I'm going to pull this down until I get these nice rich brown tones. Now if I go too far, it's going to get yellow. And what I really want is just that nice, rich brown. And it looks like I might have to go back to my red and pull these reds back a little bit. And that looks really nice. So then all you need to do is just go up into your opacity slider here and just kind of tweak this until it looks right. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll overdo these. I'll just bring that up a lot and then pull this down a lot until it gets nice and brown, like that. And then just back it off up here until I get what I want. And then if I put the final tone enhancer on it, that's what I get. So that's really nice. It's nice and brown, and that looks great. So we're just going to call that one platinum. And I'm going to turn it off and collapse it. So let's do the next one. I'm going to turn my final tone enhancer off and put another tone enhancer in here. Change the blend mode to color, and then go down and grab the curve. And now we're going to create the silver look. So I'm going to go into the red channel, and I just want to add a little bit of cyan to the midtones. I'm going to leave my shadows and my highlights alone, and I mean a little bit. I don't need a lot here, because most of the tone is going to come from the blues, and we're going to put blue in the shadows only. So I'm going to click here and just pull this up until we get a nice blue tone like that. And again, I might go back here and just kind of overdo this effect so that I have more latitude with my opacity slider. I'm going to go up here and just pull this back, and I just need to add a little bit. And that's pretty good. If I turn my tone enhancer on, that looks really nice. So let's call this one silver. And I'm going to turn this off. And we'll collapse this, and now we'll do our last one, which is the cyanotype. So I'm going to add another tone enhancer. Let's turn this top one off. And again, change the blend mode to color. And the curves on this are a little extreme. So in the red curve, I'm going to grab this in my dark quarter tones and just pull this down like this. So I'm creating a lot of blue here, cyan really. And in my blue channel, I'm going to do just the opposite. Just kind of like that. So the green channel is where all the fun happens. And I'm actually going to lock down my midtones and my dark quarter tones just like that. And I'm just going to put some green into my highlights. Not too much. If I go too far, you can see my clouds get really green. I just want them to have a cool kind of tint. So obviously that's a way overdone effect, but if we pull our opacity slider down, then we get that really nice cyanotone look. And I can put my final tone enhancer on here, and that looks really good. I really like this for architectural work. And I tend to use it, you know, kind of sparingly like that. So 3 really classic darkroom looks. So let's call this one the Cyanotype. And we'll just collapse this. And let's collapse that, and collapse that, and that as well. And so let's just kind of scroll through these. There's our platinum. That's actually looking a little yellow. So we might want to go back and just put some more red into that curve. There we go. That's better. Then we have to pull the opacity of that back some. And if we turn that off, there's our silver. That looks really nice. And there's our cyanotype. That looks really great. So experiment with these classic looks. They're a lot of fun, and they can add a lot of sophistication to your photos. This is Jim Welninsky. Be creative, have fun, and I'll see you next time.